All right, welcome back to part 5 of how to grow an email list from scratch. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do your follow-up sequence. That is your emails that go out after somebody drops their email on this page that we set up in the last part. So this is really important because you've probably heard this saying before, the money's in the follow-up, right? And it's part of why email marketing is so powerful for so many businesses is because you're building trust with people. You're showing them your product, you're walking them through it, you're helping them consume it, you're answering their questions, and people buy from people who they know, like, and trust. And booking and buying, kind of the same thing. So let's dive into it. So we are in, let me just make my face a little bit smaller. We are in Symvoly building this out. So if you would like a free trial of this to follow along with us, you can grab a free trial using my link down in the description below. And we're going to go to the emails and automations section here. Then we're going to go to automations. And we already temporarily created our automation just so we had our freebie link in there and everything. So I'm going to click on that. But if you don't have one, there'll just be a button like this that says create automation, and then you can create a blank automation. And so when you're in here, you have the trigger, and we want to make sure that the trigger is when people put their email on that form that we set up, right? So I'm seeing here that my trigger is that when somebody gets on this list, then it will trigger this email sequence. And I already know on that page where they put their email, I'm adding them to this list when they give me their email. So that's why that's all going to work together. So now we'll just close out of that. I just click over on the side to close out. And I want to send my first email. So the whole point of the first email is to deliver the free gift that you offered, but also to build a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of rapport. So we don't want to just completely give it straight at the beginning. So let's go and edit the email, and I'll show you what I mean. So you may, if you followed any of my other trainings, you may already know that I advise not to drop your free thing right at the beginning of the email, because basically what we're doing with this email is we want to train our audience to look for our emails, to open them, to reply, that kind of thing. So in the first one, I like to kind of say something like, here's your free thing, but just wait a second before I tell you how to get it. I want to let you know what to expect. And this is where we can create a bit of an open loop. So just letting them know what to expect from you in general. Maybe there's some different topics that you talk about. Maybe there's some other things coming down the pipe. So things like that is what you want to write in here. And then a very brief description about you and why you're doing this. Why are you giving this thing away for free? And just that just builds a little bit of rapport so that they kind of know who you are and that sticks in their head. And then we deliver their free thing. So I'm actually just going to update the link here because this, I think, is an old link. Yeah, I just had Drive in there. So we'll just go like that. And of course, you can also, if you decided that you had, wanted to have a PDF or whatever, you could also just upload the file directly into Symvoly. So you could deliver it that way as well. But I'm just showing you a really simple way to do it with free things like, Google Docs and stuff like that. All right. And then at the end of this first email, I like to ask them to reply and let me know either what their biggest struggle with this pain point is, or to just let me know that they got it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and save that. And then I want to check in with them just in a little while. So I've actually tested this with a few clients, and it seems that the best amount of time to wait after the first email is 23 hours. I know that seems a little bit weird, but there's just some sort of weird thing about 23 hours that people seem to open those emails a lot. So we're going to add a delay in there, 23 hours. And then we're going to add another email. And so in this email, all I want to do is just kind of check in and be like, hey, did you get it? And the whole point of this email is literally just to train them to reply to your emails. And part of the reason that we do this is A, for deliverability, and B, once you start getting them to respond to you and reply to you, every time you respond back to them and then they reply back to you, after a couple back and forth, you become a contact in their email software. So a lot of these like major email softwares like Gmail and stuff, they'll add you as like a contact in their inbox. So that means that you won't go to spam later down the road. And it also just kind of helps them get to know how maybe your support works, or like how you interact with people, that kind of thing. So in this one, I'm just going to make something super simple, like, hey, like I sent you, just basically saying like what you sent them. Like I sent you the 4-step guide yesterday, and with all this anti-spam stuff, sometimes get lost. So I just wanted to make sure you got it. If not, here's the link again, and then link to it. Can you quickly hit reply and let me know you got it? So, so I can sleep soundly tonight, knowing my systems are up and working, or something like that. And I never sign off with regards, because that's so lame. That's like, am I AI or something? Am I a robot? Like, how do you want to talk? You want to write your emails kind of the way that you talk, because otherwise people are going to get hung up when they're reading them. Like, that's something that I would say to them. Okay, talk soon. Ciao. Like, ciao, right? Something that you would say like when you're ending a conversation with people. So I'll link this guy here is an external link. Still had my Google Drive link there, and I want to make this blue so they know it's a link. There we go. So there we go. In just a couple of minutes, we already have 2 emails in our email sequence. Now, the longer the sequence, the better, because you're just going to stay top of mind, right? So I'm not going to go and write out all these other emails, but I'm going to give you, let's say, I'll give you like the first 5 days. I'll just give you kind of like the topics. So basically what I would do for the rest of these is just put a 24-hour delay in between the rest of them. And then your third email, this one, I would do like, just kind of remind about the free thing. And what you might do with this is maybe educate them a little bit on it. Oh, I need to set my sender here. So just kind of educate them a little bit on the free thing, and what that does, it gets them consuming it, and you want them to consume it, because that's how they're going to get a quick win, right? So just having some little information in your email sequence about that, even if you're literally telling them the same information in the email, because they might just be that kind of person that's just too lazy to go and open the thing, right? So then your day, what are we now? 1, 2, 3, day 4 email. I would do, this one, your story and your why. So, and the thing that I just want to be careful with what I say here, because I find that a lot of people that don't really understand email marketing, they go on and on and on about themselves, but you always have to remember you have to bring it back to your client, your audience, right? It's like, don't go blabbering on and on and on about yourself unless you are going to somehow bring it back and relate it to the audience. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, why do I even care? You know what I mean? So tell a good story here and give some reason on why you're telling it. Why is it related to them? And that helps build trust. That helps them to get to know you. And then we'll just close that guy out. So we're going to go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this is all that you put in your follow-up sequence, you will be doing better than 90% of businesses when it comes to your email follow-up. So highly recommend. And this 5th email is do an FAQ email. So basically, let them know you're selling something. So the whole point of getting them onto your email list is so that you could sell them something, right? So get them to book with you, get them to buy your products, get them to buy your services. So this is a great way to, again, build some rapport, get them to see what your support would look like, and just answer some of their common questions, any myths, any common misconceptions about what you do, anything else that's kind of like unanswered. So, for like an acupuncture business, for example, you might touch on things like, oh, does it hurt? What kind of ailments does it treat? Like, let's say your free gift was something to do with like back pain. Well, your FAQ might be like, is acupuncture only treat back pain? Well, obviously your answer would be, well, no, we can treat eczema, we can treat digestive issues, we can treat this and that and whatever, right? So that's a great place to put stuff like that. And from there, you're kind of just going into more of like sales type emails and value type emails, newsletter type emails. So we won't cover that in this particular training, just because it's like way above and beyond, and this video will be an hour long. All right, so now there you have it. You have your follow-up sequence set up. Now with the last step and the last part, which I will post in a couple days here, is to get people to this page so that you actually have people going through this. So really excited for that. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that last part of this series. And if you want to follow along with any of this stuff, if you want to get some of my templates, join my email list. There's links down in the description below. And I'll see you in the